All right. Welcome to the Mental Performance Playbook, brought to you by the Athlete's Health, breaking down some elite mental strategies, putting them into some actionable exercises for us here with Coach Knies. Season's picking up soon, so that's exciting. Reason I'm having this episode, topic here is spiraling athletes, spiraling down, and what you can actually do about it. Backstory for you is at a club this last week. Parent came up to me and they're like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like just after one play, the head goes down. They're just shut down. When they're in baseball, they just, after one bad pitch, or actually when they're up to bat, one bad swing, you can just tell they're done. Like they don't, we were trying to do all this stuff for them and they're not understanding it. We're showing them videos of people just moving on online and they're not doing it. So thought it would be smart to have this episode here today, going over this while we had a little bit of time. Yeah. So, Coach Knies, Angie, how do you first tell that an athlete is spiraling? Can you tell before it starts to happen? Can you not? What are you looking for? What are some signs? Let's break this down, because one of the things that's happened too is this is a lot more parents, or maybe some retired athletes, some older people. It's not always the kids. Kids are busy these days. They got 6 and 7 going on. They I was just working with the kid. I said, what was happening at school? He said, 6, 7. And I said, yeah, that's right. So they're busy. They don't have time to watch these, but the parents, I know they're watching it because they're trying to get the insight. Right. So break this down for us. What are some things that you're seeing? First off, we're going to walk through this like a process here. But let's start with that. What are you looking for? What are you seeing just in your expertise?
Yeah, I think it happens pretty quick, like the overall spiral. So I think head goes down, shoulders go down. They're like trying to overcorrect a lot of stuff. And just like little things like stop communicating. It's silent on the field. There's multiple little things, and I think it happens quicker than people think. At least in soccer. Soccer is a long game for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But you can usually tell within like 10 minutes that somebody's spiraling, that after a bad shot or
I'll pull the mic closer. There you go. Get into the mic. There you go. Use it.
after like a missed shot or a bad pass or whatever. I think within 10 minutes you can tell if they're going to spiral or not.
So you're saying there's a 10-minute window?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Well, this is going to be released tomorrow. So when people see this is Wednesday. Going to drop it Thursday. Different time though. Going to do it more in the afternoon probably. Monday, I'm going to have a specific one exercise episode coming out to help this spiraling, called the 10-second runoff routine is what I called it. Yeah, that's what we called it. And for various reasons. But you're saying maybe 10 minutes. Obviously, just throwing some numbers out there. But you're saying in soccer.
In soccer, I think you can tell if somebody is going to spiral or not within 10 minutes of them making a mistake.
Okay, because you got 90 minutes in the game.
Yeah.
Plus extra time, whatever you got going on it. But yeah. Because that's one thing that I think is pretty cool from what I have been doing so far, is while I have not coached any specific sport in that just one sport, I've done the mental side in many sports now with the one-on-one athletes and then teams I've worked with. So I've seen a lot of different coaches' perspectives and broke that down in different ways and utilized them. So I know we're going to talk mostly with your soccer background now, because you're watching any basketball recently?
No.
Yeah, no. Not watching much, but we're busy. We're not.
We're busy.
Much. But that's I bring that back to, you're gonna see oftentimes it breaks down into like body language, effort, attitude, and then emotion in there too. So those are some big words. And one thing I like to look at is understanding what the words actually mean. Right. Let's walk through these here fast, of body language, effort, attitude, emotion. Give us just some examples of them, of what that can look like. And what I'm more so wondering is the pre-total spiral, because you're like at you said it was it happens quick. It can kind of think one of those coin things that the coin slowly goes around and it goes more and more and more and more and more. It's kind of like that. Pre full spiral, what are you seeing that happens? Because now you've coached.
Yeah.
You've coached too. You've been on all sides.
Yeah.
So give us just one or two examples, and then I'll probably add to it. But I wanna go over that for a second.
Yeah, I think it's eyes go immediately to the floor. You're not marking up anymore. You're worrying about yourself. You're worrying about yourself and your mistake and not trying to help the girl next to you. I think shoulders start to fold over, so you're not like in a athletic stance, like ready to go. You look like you're not ready for the next play because you're in your head. And then I think outbursts of like either language or you blame other people for your own mistake. I think is one that I see a lot of in women's soccer is like you're blaming somebody else for something that you weren't ready for because you were thinking about the past mistake 20 seconds later and the girl got by you. So really, it's nobody's fault, but you're blaming the next person for something that you could have helped out with. So I think like a combination of a bunch of stuff, but I think those are kind of the main things that I usually see when somebody's like within that 10-minute window, like they're going to show. So one of them is going to happen. It depends on the person, I think, but I think a couple of things will happen in that 10 minutes.
So you're saying maybe not minimum one, but more likely multiple.
More likely multiple.
So you can have different signs
if they're
to
about to
watch out
spiral.
for.
Yeah.
If they're spiral. Can you catch yourself before the spiral? Can you grab onto the cliff and make sure you don't
100%.
fall? Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say how, but I mean that's kind of what this whole thing is about. That's quick ways to catch that spiral so you don't do it.
Yeah.
What I was wondering during this is if you're gonna spiral, you spiral. Is there like a time in it, or is it almost like Stranger Things, the little part between the worlds, like it's fast, you fly through it?
Yeah.
Or I guess that's a bad metaphor. I'm thinking of like a black hole, like you just go in it. Because Stranger Things, they were hanging out in the upside down,
right,
for a long time,
right,
and that was the connecting piece,
right.
So let's still use this metaphor. Are you stuck in there? And there's no other side? You come out the same side? What do you do usually?
Personally?
Sure.
Or what I've seen?
Either or.
I think there's 3 different stages that like when people spiral. So I think you start spiraling. So you start putting your head down. You start out lashing out at everybody and you stay there. Like that's the game you're going to have. You're not going to get out of it. Or it's a practice. Everything in practice is going wrong. Yeah. Like you can't hit the ball on the goal. You can't swing. You can't pitch right. You can't, like anything that's happening in practice, like whatever sport you're in, everybody has had a practice where nothing could go right.
So it's just not going good.
It's not going good. You're not at 101%. It's not going to happen. Second, in a game, if you're going the first half, that now I'm in soccer mode. So go through the first half, shit. Like you're not getting out of it. The whole half is going by and you can't seem to do anything right. Halftime comes. Now that's your time to reset. Like you're getting confirmation from your coach. You're getting what you need to get out of halftime. You're getting going back. Second half is 100 times better. I think everybody has also had that type of game where nobody is connecting. Nobody is having like the best half. And then second half goes from 0 to 100 and everybody's connecting. And you're like, what just happened they needed a reset. And that was halftime. Unfortunately, soccer, you don't get timeouts. You don't get to be able to reset yourself. So like basketball would be nice. But the third is you catch yourself spiraling.
Yep.
And you're 10 minutes, you're within the 10-minute window, you snap your wristband. What I used to do is what I worked with sports psychologists with, and like with you, is finding something that's your own that you can reset. So I would always fix my hair. Like it doesn't matter if I slicked it back that day or like whatever, like I'm fixing my hair. Whenever somebody goes to throw in a ball or whenever there's some type of like non-action happening. And or you slap like the wristband, or you look at somebody and that's your reset. Um and then the rest of the game is better than it was when you caught yourself spiraling, and now you're not spiraling the whole time. So I think there's 3 different areas.
How many people do you think know those actions or know to use those?
Not a lot.
And how do you?
Because I think I found myself spiraling more than once in a game or practice, and I wanted to see what's the alternative, because I can't go through the whole season feeling like that. So I thought there has to be a way where I can just like reset and like find inner peace while the game is still happening. And so,
Yeah, I'm surrounded in this so much, so like that's common to me. But then you explained it pretty well, and then it just makes me think like, oh, do more people know this? Is more, but then I go back to the point where no, there's like 35% of people like don't know this is a thing at all. Like 45 maybe know there's a problem, but they have no idea about solutions or anything to it.
right.
Which is back again to why we're doing this. But like I said, I'm in it so much that I have to remind myself that maybe some people don't know all of that.
Yeah.
Which ties me to when I was talking to not too many parents, because I was doing stuff with coaches the other night. But there were some parents there, and some coaches are parents a lot of times at the club sport level, depending on where they're at. But what they were getting at was, what do the parents do at your level? Yeah, no, this is huge, because like I said, I think more the audience, half of them are parents, and that's where this is going. They're asking for it, and to get the exercises still, which in these
Yeah.
don't give them as much.
Yeah.
But so with the parents,
Mm-hmm.
what do you see that helps? What do you see that hinders? Anything of the sense?
Yeah, a lot of I don't want to group all parents together, but I think there's a select number of parents that really hinder your kids when they're playing. And at least in soccer, it's an outside sport. So I blocked everything out. Like I couldn't really hear anybody when you're on the field, but
Oh, so you could literally block them out.
yeah, like
Okay.
I tell my mom all the time, I was like, you could be like screaming the loudest and I'm sorry, but I could not hear you because I have to focus on the game. So, but like basketball, they're like right on top of you and the gym is so loud. So I think number one, like you yelling at your kid is not going to get them to do what you want them to do. Like you yelling on the sideline for them to run or for them to mark up. Like number one, your coach is going to be like, stop talking.
What about the refs? Do you think it helps when they yell at the refs?
No.
Oh, no.
Probably not.
It's always funny.
Yeah. So yelling is just not, it's not going to get you. Your kid is going to start spiraling. You're going to start spiraling. Like it's going to cause a rift between you two. I think another thing is talking to your kid too quick after a game.
Yeah, that's huge.
I think that's also kind of personal though. Like maybe your kid wants to just get it out in the open right after the game, so then they have 30 minutes to sit in it and then be done with it. But I think that's another thing. They say what they could have done better way too quick. I think something that really helps is tying it to like after a game, like, I love you. I'm here for you whenever you want to talk. If you don't want to talk, that's totally fine. But trying to not put your love in the outcome, like not tying the parents' love to the kid in did you win? Did you score a goal? Did like trying to tie that. I think more so putting it in a way of like, I love how you competed today. Like now tomorrow starts.
Yeah, you're hitting on these process goals and outcomes, and the what was the other piece? Well, that's a huge piece on what you're hitting out of. It's not the outcome,
Yeah.
or what is it called? Drawing a blank there for a second. It's a little later this evening, but yeah, you want to do the process
Yeah.
instead of just the end outcome of what you're saying. But I'm tying that. I was gonna say that too, of that car ride piece. It's a very fun time. I put it into a perspective of, because I got this from a video when I was studying some of this, is like professional players are gonna get 10 minutes in the locker room, like minimum, like where they will not go out to the post conference. But basically, right after the game, some of the kids are going to be going to the post conference, and I know when we talk to parents about this, they're like, "Well, yeah, it depends on the kid, but like we can be more confrontational with them, some not."
Yeah.
But still, that window that you're talking about is important and tied back to not just the end result product, but pieces you can go along the way.
Yeah. I think something else to add too, like if you're a parent, just ask your kid. Like most of them will be straight up with you that, hey, how do you want, like if your game goes bad or it goes good, like some kids after it goes good, they still want space, like to not think about the game. So it's like just ask your kid like how they feel and what they want after a game and then respect that. Like if they say, yeah, it's okay, like give me some pointers. Okay, then they want some pointers, then you know to look for that in a game. Or if they're like, give me 10 minutes, then we can talk about it if you want. Like, like just listen to your kid. They'll tell you what they want most of the time, I think. And not a lot of parents give that opportunity for the kid to express how they feel or what they want or what they need after a competitive match or even practice.
Yeah, because practice is just important.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this one too, where time will keep going, so you can sit and sulk, or you can move on. Because if you're going to be stuck in the spiral, then I mean you can be stuck in it. It might feel like time's not going, but time's going. If you have 90 minutes of your soccer game and you're in a spiral for the full 45 minutes, it's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah.
So if we can somehow get you out of the spiral, that helps quite a lot.
Yeah.
To get you out of the spiral, which is just a thing to think about, where the timing piece, and then back to the time after the game, and then time in the car or time any other place. It's going to keep ticking. So it's what are we going to do with it?
Yeah, definitely.
You were saying a couple things earlier today that I wanted to bring up just to reiterate on here, because I think we can tie this into the spiraling part, what you can actually do about it, and that spiral sensation, that snowball going down the hill, feeling like you're stuck spiraling, and moving out of that, moving to a whole nother level, moving to that next place, using these exercises. I was just talking to someone recently, and they're like, "Oh, I was doing it in my head," but I said, "No, I didn't say it like this." But I said, "No, we're supposed to be using it how we're supposed to be using it. This is a prescription. This is your training. You got to use it.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
Got to do the physical reset if that's what we're doing, or got to do the lookout and reset if that's what we're going to do to stop the spiral. If you're just thinking about it in your head, that's exactly why you're coming here. That's exactly why you're listening. Like, come on."
Yeah.
But soapbox. You said a couple things earlier today when we were talking. You want to go over like one or two of them, and I'm going to reiterate them a little bit more, but I want you to start that one off and kick them going.
Okay. I think I have a couple. So I would resituate my hair. And that's like the physical action of like hair is messy, putting it back perfect, like getting ready to go, new person, ready to go.
I mean like earlier today, when you were working out, and you were telling me a couple of things.
Oh.
Yeah, no, what you just said, I call it with a lady that we work with. We call that the positive pony. That's what we were calling it.
Wait, that's perfect.
Yeah, it worked pretty well. It still is working. So
yeah, that's great. Okay. 2 things that I went over. Yeah, today I have a unbelievable, amazing boss in my sales job. And he's a leader and a mentor in life, but also in work. And we had a team meeting today, and 2 things that he hit on was
Well, I'll start with one.
wait, what was the thing I said?
Well, I know at one point you ended with the one word.
Wait, hold on. I wrote it down. Okay. So 2 things that I went and talked about with my boss and on the team call was stop negotiating with yourself. It is really easy to talk yourself out of something. And so whether it's like in practice or in a game, like don't negotiate yourself if you're going underneath the level that you want to be at. Like if you're in practice, you're scrimmaging, you're like, I want to get 80% passing accuracy. Like that's something that I want to do. Like don't negotiate yourself with yourself and be like, "Oh, 30% was okay. Like I got 3 passes out of 10. I'm good with that. Like we can do that. We can do better tomorrow." It's like, no, you can't negotiate with yourself. You said you wanted to do 10. Try for 10. And then the second was consecutive versus consistent. So, consecutive, I am going to work out every single day for 30 days so that I can be ready for tryouts in 2 months. You're like, yeah, it's consecutive. Like, you did it every day. It's great. Okay, what about being consistent? Be consistent for the whole time that you're in season and preseason and work out 3 times a week and be consistent at that. You're going to go longer with a shorter condensed period of time. You're going to go longer through that.
What was the first one you said again?
Stop negotiating with yourself.
Yeah, stop negotiating with yourself. So we'll start there, and then we'll tie that to.
I just want to edit this.
That's okay. It's okay. Pretty soon we'll get more guests on, so it won't just be us talking, but we'll still have our talking ones because it's
I love it.
It's a good fun time. But no, stop negotiating to consistency and consecutiveness, and then we had one single piece. Those are what I want to hit on here fast because I think that actually really does tie back into the spiral topic. Because if we're seeing ourselves spiraling, that is first one thing that we can train, coach, but I usually say train up because it's kind of like programming or strengthening the mind. But there will be ways to do it because you're not just gonna be able to tell someone like just get consecutive ones in.
Yeah.
We have to have ways to do
Model
that.
it, yeah.
To be the consistent because you want to be consistent over consecutive, right?
Right.
That was the whole theory of that.
Right.
To do it much over time instead of the saturation of one piece.
Consecutive, yeah.
Yeah. So going back to the spiraling piece, if it's like a wave pool or like one of those, what are they called when they go in the circle of the waters?
Toilet bowl?
Yeah, a little bit, but no. I mean, I know what you're talking about there, but no, the ones that like a warp pool, where like you're in it and it's spinning in a circle. Whirlpool.
Yeah.
Like a whirlpool. Okay, whirlpool. You're going with the water in the middle. Like if you can't swim, you're just gonna get sucked into the middle. But the first part of what we were just talking about, which was
Stop negotiating with yourself.
Stop negotiating with yourself. For the spiraling piece, I think that first time, like let's say you can't swim and you're hanging onto the wall. That first time that you start spiraling, maybe you let go a little bit, that you can grab on. I think the letting go is when you stop, is that you negotiate with yourself. And we need to hang on the whole time because that is not negotiating with yourself and you don't get sucked in. But once you get started and you do it a little bit more, and then you start spiraling more and more. It's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to, well, they just can't seem to do it. I think they might not be negotiating. They haven't learned the skill yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's really why we do what we do, to train that skill up, because eventually they'll learn it. But if they can learn it sooner, accelerate the whole process. The negotiation comes when they've been negotiating with themselves. They don't know how to not stop the spiral. And so one thing that I was going to talk about, that I was just going to ask you, is what is one thing that we can do? Like, what is one thing that you can suggest? Which you said a lot of ways. All those, I think, are ways, and we've covered them, and that's what we do to stop that spiral, to get them back to the wall so they can swim a little bit, so they're not drowning. If almost drowned in a wave pool, it's not fun, you know?
I've never done that, but that sounds scary.
Yeah, well, not fun. That's a long-winded way of saying, if you negotiate, I think you're going to start spiraling. And like, that's what a lot of the science or things I would research in the office back there would have, is once you start that negotiation, then it's going to spiral into another negotiation.
100%.
Now, in a game, practice, it's more so like that. In a game, a little harder, because now, once again, time's not going to stop. You got to keep going. So we have to figure out those quick ways to, if you do negotiate once or twice, to get back to the wall. And then that'll go to our consistency and consecutiveness. Okay. Did you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's easy to negotiate with yourself, easier than people might think. And once you start, it almost builds a habit of doing that. So trying to break it is also going to be hard. So just remember, like, when you're going through your journey of trying to stop yourself from spiraling, like, it's not going to be perfect every single time. And I think to give yourself a little bit of grace that, like, it's going to take time for you to find what thing helps you. Like, not everybody is going to do the, like, happy ponytail thing or whatever. Like, that's not going to work.
Positive pony is what we called it.
Positive pony. That's not going to work for everybody.
No, you're right. And
then the snap on the wrist, like with the rubber band, that's not going to work for everybody. Like, you kind of have to go through it to find what helps you. And so just remember, like, when you're in that period of time, something will you'll catch on to something that you really like, but just remember that it's not like a one size fits all.
Okay, yeah. And the consistency and consecutiveness. Now, consecutiveness is in a row, right? But eventually that stops. But the consistency we're saying is continuous. It's maybe doesn't a little have less, but it's continuum.
Yeah, doesn't have a time stop.
Yeah. It's going on. That ties into the negotiation piece, but we'll transition out of that to your last piece of the one. And where I'll go with that is back to last week when we were talking, 2 weeks ago now, maybe when we dropped this, because it was Christmas special. Yeah, because we were doing every other week when we were doing these. Back to that present piece. That was something else I was just talking with an athlete recently about, is the one, if you're in the spiral, like I was talking about, what I'm thinking of this is like a dot in the middle and then spirals on each side, because you'll spiral in, but there's one, you spiral out, another. I try to be that dot in the middle, that present, it's the one. So we can look at this one in many different ways, but I think it's an important piece of our training to implement, because we are only focused on that one piece. That's the one present. I was talking to a basketball kid. We were saying you're dishing out the presents to all the other people on your team. It was a good one. I was happy with that one. Came up with it. And it ties back to the spiral piece. Because if we're going to have one consistency over time to not negotiate, it's just still back to just that one piece. So if you're in practice, this is what I was going to say earlier. Like, even if you're running sprints, which I don't always suggest this, so don't necessarily do it, but like, do the one sprint all out, like burn it, Yeah, you're pushing it so much that you gotta lay it down, and maybe you can't even get the next rep in, which also is not probably good. But you're in the one. You're
Yeah.
pushing it. I remember so many times that happened that it was tough, but still does. That goes back to that one being consistent over just consecutive, knowing there's an end definite, which in some regard in the season there is, but in the macro scale, there's not. So you have to
There's
keep
really
it
not,
going.
because
Yep.
there's like pre and post season. There's in season. Really, if you're an athlete and you're trying to go to that next level, there really is no. There's strategic days off, but there's really no season off.
I think that's a pretty good spot to wrap it up at. What other final comments do you have for us around this topic?
I think that something that I've learned um going through college athletics and like now being in life mode and a coach is a lot of this stuff doesn't just apply to like one thing. Like the consistency versus consecutive is like, or like the don't negotiate with yourself, like your alarm clock. If you're going to snooze it, you're negotiating with yourself. Just get up when the time you wanted to get up at. Like it bleeds into life a little bit, and I think that's good that you get extra reps of
That's what the winners do.
of getting extra reps at it, but not having it consistently just be in athletics. Like, I think it's nice to get extra reps where it's not solely focused on like your passing or scoring a goal or whatever, because you build up that skill and then you're able to like be more confident in athletics because you have the skill instead of just using it at practice. Like use it all in your everyday life. Use what you learn. A lot of stuff bleeds in and out. So I think when you can get extra reps at something, that's always a good thing.
Oh yeah, on one of our free mental training sessions, because the parents usually sit in on it some. That first free one, a parent was like, I guess this makes sense, but I didn't realize this was going to be so much life stuff too. And well, we were explaining it specifically to use in the sport. But I said, get all the reps in that you can right now in every other place that you're doing it. Because the more you can do that now, the faster we're going to accelerate it and saturate it and get your training going.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the case. If we can apply this for sports, comma, and life, we're setting ourselves up for some pretty good success, which is pretty awesome about it. But yeah, I think you're right on with that. Spiral can happen anytime as long as if we can catch it before, if we can just stay in that one, maybe then we won't even be in the spiral. You can think about it like the spiral is always all around you. And if you stay in that one spot, do it consecutively and not really negotiate because spiral's going to try and pull you each way.
Right.
But you got to not get pulled. And that's about that for that one. So, any last minute comments, or those were already your last minute comments?
Those are my last minute comments.
Okay, well, the Mental Performance Playbook brought to you by the Athlete's Health. This is Angie Canese over here. Gabe Rummel, founder of the Athlete's Health, started this podcast, making this happen. And catch you all next week. Peace. I don't think I said share the show. If you like it, share the show.
Share the show.